Tar Heel fans in New Orleans, I am sure.
Oh, Charlie, I tell you what, the party is just now beginning. The fans have poured out of the Superdome. I don't know if you can see it, Charlie, but we've got a beautiful shot of the Superdome, and half of those people that you see jumping up and down are excited Tar Heel fans. And I do want to show you something that one of the Tar Heel fans brought to us.
The people weren't quick or what, huh?
There it is. It says the final score 77-71. Of course, Carolina victorious. Tom, what a game. It was so fun to watch.
It was a tremendous basketball game, and you hate for a great player like Chris Webber to make a mistake like he did at the end of the ball game. They tell us Dean Smith is standing by at the press conference, getting ready to sit down. We're going to switch to that right now. All right, we're going to Coach Smith right now back in the dome in the interview room.
What a tremendous win over what I thought was an outstanding Michigan effort. In many ways, they missed a couple of easy ones inside, and we'd come down and maybe get something going, but the final score stands, and we do congratulate Michigan on a tremendous effort. Even if that timeout hadn't occurred, I think we had Weber in a pretty good situation in the double team, and then, of course, he might have walked in front of our bench, so if that called, then it would still been our ball. But it did make it a little easier when Donald stroked the foul shots. There's so many great plays down the line. You know, George Lynch's basket. We seemed to die out there. It was a funny thing. And our main goal, I got my sheet right here, was, of course, limit them to second shots, but to run them. We were going to sprint out, go to offense, and wear them down. I looked out there, and we looked like we were worn down. So I know we're in shape, so maybe we had too much nervous energy. But these young people on my left, Derek Phelps, a courageous, great player. I think that's obvious the way he came up with steals, getting the people the ball, and the great defense. And, of course, I can't begin to say enough about George Lynch. I won't begin to try. I've already said this before because I don't want to choke up that he's just one of the greatest young men I've ever known and one of the greatest players we've had at Carolina. But he surely had help from his friends. Seniors, Matt Winstrom, to me, is I admire him as much as any young man to have the attitude he has without the playing time. He's a natural leader, and will go on and play professional basketball somewhere, I know. And then Scott Cherry just has a tremendous attitude. Henry Rodel is a mostly underrated player. Billy Packer mentioned what a great game Rodel had, and I agreed immediately. And two of his shots had gone in. They're just a little short. He'd be maybe in this room. And, of course, Travis Stevenson walk-on. So we'll miss all of them.
Okay, let's take care of our questions for the players. First one is on mic number 1 right here in front.
Chris Webber, right after he called the timeout, he looked at his bench as if he had heard voices, as if he had heard someone telling him to call a timeout. Did you guys, when you went down and trapped him or were on that side of the floor, did you hear anyone from the Michigan bench yelling at him to call a timeout?
Who would you like to answer that?
Actually, I wasn't quite sure who was at that end of the
floor. Would anybody hear anything?
Well, it sounded like the whole bench was saying, call a timeout, call a timeout. I think everybody in the stands was calling a timeout too, so it came pretty much from everywhere at that point.
Let's go to the question back here on mic number 4.
Yeah, first of all, Coach Smith and players, congratulations. Donald, congratulations. I see you're the MVP of the tournament. I was wondering your thoughts on how you were able to get so many good looks at the basket and good shots against Michigan, and your general thoughts about the Michigan team.
Well, of course, Michigan's an excellent team, or else they wouldn't be here. And I think the beginning of the game, I was a little nervous, and I got a little tired quick. So I really want moving without the ball quickly. So coaches took me out, and they talked to me and told me to really move quickly without the ball, because the first shot I hit really wasn't a good shot for us. So they told me to continue to move quickly without the ball, and they'll continue to set screens and free me. So that's what I started doing.
Let's go to a question on mic number 2.
Coach Smith, would you talk about Donald's run the last 4 games, beginning in the regional and Meadowlands?
We're going to let Coach Smith answer questions after the players leave. Question on mic number 4. Okay.
What? All right, I'll try to remember it.
Question right here on mic number 1.
When you switched to the zone, did it take them out of their game? That it seemed that it kind of befuddled them for a period of time. They don't have much of an outside game apparently.
When we went into the zone, I guess, they were kind of impatient. I think they wanted to get the ball inside the Weber, and I think our inside play did a great job. Holding them inside and making sure they didn't get good looks at the basket. But they was kind of impatient, and I think they wanted to get they wanted to rush shots a little bit. So I guess the zone took them out their game, and I think they wanted us to play more of a man-to-man to get the game more of their style of their game.